So it's the month of February, and right around this time every year, there's two factions of humanity that seem to form. Those who are in relationships and those who are not in relationships. So I thought, because a lot of people ask me things about this all the time, I'm not quite sure why, but they ask me, we could talk about relationship stuff. Huh? One of the most common questions ever on the internet for people who fall into the single category this time of year is, how do I get he or she, whoever is the object of my affection, to like me? How do I do that? I will answer this question, but first, I'd like to point out my rhetorical problems with that question, because you don't make other people like you. They just kind of do or don't. You don't really have any effect on that. You're just yourself, you do your thing, and then the other person kind of reacts to that. That has nothing to do with you. You don't really go inside people's minds and say, I'm gonna make you like me. Doesn't work that way. That isn't to say that you can't help your chances, because you can help your chances, and you do that not by doing anything with the other person, but by doing stuff with you, by working on you, by making yourself a more better person. Good English, Connor. Nice job. But all that's before stuff. Let's say right now you are in the presence of your crush, the person who you want to put your face on, right? You're in the presence of that person. I'm gonna tell you what I would do in this situation, because I like to be as straightforward as possible without being aggressive, right? Because I'm not an aggressive person. I'm actually a very passive person. I like to not be aggressive. I don't like confrontation. However, I do like to take frequent drives to downtown Flirt City. That sounds a bit overzealous and cocky, I'm aware, but I'm really happy. I came up with that joke maybe like a year ago. I was talking with my friend Lucky, and it's so funny to me. Flirt City. I don't know why, it's just hilarious. It's so funny to me. The next reasonable question to ask is, how do I flirt? How do I do that? That's different for every single person. Really, you know, it's just about saying what you feel in clever ways, right? I'm sure most of you have seen the movie Frozen at this point, and if you haven't, just see it and change your life. See it already. There's a point in the movie, fairly early on, in which Anna comes in contact with a guy, and she just blurts out that you're gorgeous, right? That's how I do things. The reason I bring that up is because it was such an effortless admission of your feelings about another person's physicality and how they look, and if you want to put your face on their face. It's a very organic thing, and I'm a huge advocate of that, especially when it comes to relationships, because I like building my relationships on honesty, and not by, like, making myself look better than I actually am, because then once you maybe enter a relationship with that person, then you're like, oh, I'm not actually this great guy who is selling, you know, myself on this pedestal to you. Because that's a lie. I don't like that. So if I have a crush on a person and I find myself talking to this person, I'll just say things, you know, when the timing seems right. If there's an opportunity to compliment this person, I will do it. I will say things like, I think you're pretty, I think you're really smart, I think you're really talented, and then, like, if I get embarrassed by saying that, which inevitably I will get embarrassed because that's opening yourself up to being, like, rejected, and that's never fun, talk about that. Be like, oh, that was embarrassing of me, my face is now a deep dark red. This is how I flirt. Bottom line here, basically, is honesty. Be honest with how you're feeling with a person. You know, when you're having a conversation, yes, it can be nerve-wracking to say how you feel, but it's also, like, the best way for people to understand how you feel, because no one's in your head, no one's gonna know what's going on, so just say how you feel. You know, worst case scenario is that the person's like, oh, I'm not into you, I don't like you, and that's, you know, there's a lot worse things that can happen than having someone say, I don't like you romantically, because a majority of people on the planet are not gonna like you romantically. I'm just gonna hit you with that one real quick. It's a luck of the draw scenario, chemical attraction, pheromones, things like that. You can't decide that. And yes, it's sad sometimes because you like someone, but it's also like, do you want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? No. So just tell people you think they're pretty. I do it often. Also, I just like to point out that being alone is not the worst thing in the world. In fact, it can be a very great experience. I haven't really been in a meaningful romantic relationship for, like, almost 3 years now, and in that 3 years I have learned the most about myself. I have formulated what I think is my best personality at this point in time, and I'm really happy with the time that I've spent by myself. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that, those tips on flirting and doing stuff. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments, and what you would want me to talk about in a future relationship-related video. I might not do it the next video, maybe the video after that. Who knows? Leave comments. I read them all. As always, I'm Connor Manning. You've just become a little more awesome, and I will see you guys on Friday. You like my scarf? It's not mine. My friend Piper came over, left it here. She made it. It's nice. I might wear this. It's a bit itchy. Maybe it's not for me. But yeah, of course, I do want to hear what you guys have to think about this and all this stuff, and your thoughts of where you are in this whole relationship deal, because I'm in the mood to get cute. I would love to get cute right now. I don't have to get cute, but I would love it. I would love to get cute.